The World Health Organization has called the powerful earthquakes that rocked Turkey and Syria Europe's worst natural disaster in a century. More than 37,000 people have died, and hope of finding any more survivors is remote. The rebel-held regions in northwest Syria are the hardest hit, but more aid is expected to arrive in the war-stricken country. A Saudi Arabian plane landed in the city of Aleppo today, bringing in 35 tons of aid into the government-controlled area. It's the first of several sets of shipment to arrive over the next few days.
نعم هناك طائرة غدا الأربعاء وكذلك طائرة بعد غد يوم الخميس وسيقوم المركز بتقييم الاحتياج وإذا كان هناك حاجة لمساعدات أكثر سيتم تقديمها بخلاف المشاريع التي سيتم تقديمها في حالة هدوء الكارثة.
The United Nations has struck a deal with the Syrian government to open 2 more crossing points from Turkiye, allowing more aid to flow in. But these border crossings will only be open for 3 months. The White Helmets rescue group has slammed the UN for allowing President Bashar al-Assad to give authorization over their aid deliveries. Well, meantime, teams have worked through the night to rescue people clinging to life beneath the rubble, 8 days after Turkey's worst earthquake in modern history. But rescue operations are winding down as hopes of finding many more survivors fade. Trent Murray with a report.
Well, the area hit by these twin earthquakes in southern Turkey measures around 110,000 square kilometres. It is an enormous area, equivalent almost to the size of South Korea, and that is making it very challenging for the government and authorities here to look after people who have been left homeless or displaced because of the disaster. In most places, they are now officially switching from rescue mode to recovery mode. In other words, trying to respectfully recover those who died and give them a proper burial. In some other places, they are still holding out hope, including in Hatay province, where they're still using thermal imaging cameras because they believe they are seeing some signs of life at several rescue sites. But those stories are becoming rarer and rarer. And the focus really is now shifting to how to look after and accommodate the almost 1 million people that have been left without a home. Many of them are still living in tents, which have been provided by the government's disaster response agency. That is challenging. It is bitterly cold here overnight. In some places it drops close to minus 17 degrees. That means people are making campfires, often burning garbage to keep warm. The other issue, of course, is food. In most places in southern Turkey, people are being fed, but the UN is warning that many people in Syria, around 800,000 of them, have still not received a hot meal. And a growing focus of concern is now health and sanitary conditions. We've spent a lot of time in some of those camps, and there are not many places for people to use the restroom, and it is a growing concern that there could be some disease outbreaks. For that reason, the government and authorities are speeding up the shipment of penicillin and rabies vaccines and other necessary medicine in order to try and prevent that. But the scale of the challenge is enormous. International partners are trying to help as well, including a specialist medical team from Japan that has experience on trying to prevent those types of disease outbreak. But for many others, aside from those who have left their homes, you've also got people that do still have their homes but are now too scared to return to them because of the aftershocks. There has been almost 3,000 of those aftershocks. We felt some of them here during our time here in southern Turkey, and that means that there is concern over whether buildings can still stay upstanding or whether they need to be officially demolished for safety. That's the job of engineers to make that decision, and there's just not enough of them to make it through all these apartment buildings quickly enough to give people confidence to return. It is a big challenge, growing criticism as well towards both the government and the construction industry over whether corners may have been cut in order to save money, whether that contributed to all of these building collapses. Turkey's efforts to rebuild, of course, are going to be long and arduous. President Erdogan here, who faces elections, it should be mentioned, later this year, well, he continues to tell quake survivors that he will rebuild their homes within 1 year. Trent Murray for CNA, Elazığ, Turkey.